Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make dark orchestral piano loops for Little Baby or 4PF. 4PF is Little Baby's label, and they're known for the kind of dark orchestral piano vibe in a lot of their songs, so that's what I went for and that's what I used for inspiration when I was making this sample. As usual, I'm just going to go through and break down everything I did, so hopefully you guys can take something away or learn something. But in this sample I used a MIDI kit from Buy Loops. In this MIDI kit there are 20 bell midis, 20 guitar midis, and then 35 midis for keys, which is what I used in this video. I highly recommend this kit. The midis are actually really fire, and it made this sample really easy to make with the key MIDI. So yeah, I just really sped up the process. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link down in the description for the pack if you're interested. Anyways, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright, so I got the final sample pulled up here. We're sitting at 129 BPM and the final sample is in B minor. As far as the sounds, it's just a piano, a staccato string, a sub bass, and then there's other strings like a background string, and then a bell, and then that's it. So it's really just 4 sounds and then a bass, and then I have all the stems laid out after the sample. I'll go ahead and play what the final sample sounds like so you can hear it, and then I'll go ahead and just break down everything. Here it definitely has that Little Baby vibe, the dark piano with the strings, kind of orchestral. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just break down everything that I did to make this sample. So yeah. Alright, so the first thing that I did is I pulled in a MIDI from this MIDI kit volume 5 from Buy Loops. Like I said, all these MIDIs are super fire. There's 20 bell midis, there's 20 guitar midis, and then there's 35 midis for keys. And for this sample, I knew that I wanted the piano to be like the main melody of the sample, like the main core of the sample. So I went into here to these key midis and I pulled in this one. And as you can see, the final MIDI is a little bit different from the original. And all I did was I dropped it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semitones. And then I just added some extra notes on the top line just to kind of make it my own. I'll go ahead and play what it sounds like when you just drag it in. And this is FL key, so it's probably not going to sound as good, but this is what it sounds like. Yeah, as you can hear, already has Little Baby written all over it, with the triplet top line here and then the chords. Everything's really bouncy. It's already super good, but like I said, I wanted to make it my own a little bit. So I didn't actually use FL keys. I used the wire, and so I pulled it in, dropped it down 6 semitones, and then I added these notes here to make the top line just a little bit different, and like I said, just make it my own a little bit. So this is what it sounds like with the top line. Yeah, not too different, just a few extra notes at the beginning. That was pretty much it for the piano MIDI. And then once I had that, I went and just made different sections throughout the sample. So this is where like the second part of the hook would be, basically. And what I did for that was I took out the top line. I took these notes right here and I just deleted them. And the reason why I did that was because I knew that I would be adding some other sound into the second part of the hook. So I wanted to leave more room for that. So I just took the top line out for the second part, and then I changed it again for when the verse would come in. And it's the same exact pattern, but I just took these notes and I lowered the velocity. It just puts the notes more like in the background, and it leaves even more room for when the verse comes in. For the effects, EQ, I boosted some of the highs and the high mids, and then lowered some of the low mids. And then I added this preset from Valhalla Ubermod that I use a lot. And then I added just a little bit of reverb. And so with the effects, it sounds like this. And then that was pretty much it for the piano. Once I had that, I knew that that was like I said, like the main part of the sample. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the piano. Alright, and then after I had the piano down, I just went in to Contact, and I went into flattest strings right here, and then I pulled up this preset, and I just wanted to add some strings to just kind of have in the background. So I came up with this pattern right here. So like I said, really simple. And I just added a bunch of effects. I added Kramer tape stereo to kind of make it more vintage. I EQ'd out a lot of the highs and almost all the lows, and then I added some Echo Boy, and then I added this preset here called Infinity from Finisher Micro, and it just kind of adds like an ambient high end. I use it a lot. I added a lot of reverb, and then I EQ'd out more of the lows, and so with all the effects, it sounds like this. Yeah, like I said, really ambient. I just kind of wanted it in the background, and then I took it out as an audio file just because my computer, for some reason, this contact bank, sometimes it'll mess up when you're exporting and it'll cut out. I just wanted to have it in like an audio file so it didn't mess up. But yeah, that's it for the first string. And so that was playing in the first part of the sample where the piano top line was in, and then the piano top line drops out, the strings drop out, and then I brought in another string. Yeah, I used the same contact bank of flattest with just a different preset, and I pulled in these staccato notes. Like I said, really simple pattern. And then for the effects, I just EQ'd out a lot of the lows, added reverb, and then I added, I think I did have halftime on, but then I took it off. So yeah, just EQ and reverb, and then I panned it to the right. So I'll go ahead and play how that sounds just with the strings and the piano, so you can hear how the top line kind of drops out and then the staccato strings come in afterwards. Yeah, that's it for the strings. Alright, so the next thing that I did is I added a bell for when the velocity drops and the verse is supposed to come in. So this is the pattern right here. And for the bell, it's just a one-shot bell. Make sure you control the envelope. I just added a little bit of attack. Put the hold all the way up and then increase the release and then hit cut. And then, so this pattern is a little bit weird because the pattern that I actually made is right here like this, but when I put it into the playlist, I actually accidentally messed up and I placed it like this, but it actually sounded fire, so I just left it. So the timing's a little bit different than the actual like pattern that I laid down, but so that's why it looks kind of weird. For the effects, I added an EQ to take out some of the highs and a lot of the lows. I added some delay, added some chorus, some reverb, a lot of reverb, and then I EQ'd out more of the lows. And so I'll go ahead and play it with the piano so you can hear what it sounds like when the velocity gets lowered. Yeah, and then for this part, like I showed at the beginning, the strings come back in at the end, just as like a second part of the verse, just for like a little different, just for a switch up. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the bell. Alright, so the last thing that I did is I added a sub bass. It's just a one shot. I just control it like an 808, put all these knobs down, put the hold all the way up, and then make sure it's cutting. And then I EQ'd out a lot of the highs and some of the mids because it was just kind of clashing with the piano, and I just wanted the low frequencies to be there. So I literally just took the root note of the piano MIDI, copied it, put it here, and then increased the velocity, and then that was literally it for the bass. Once I had that, I just broke it down, like I said before, just with the piano, with the top line for the first part of the hook, and then the top line drops out and the staccato strings come in, and then lower the velocity for the verse, the bell comes in, and then the strings come back in for the second part of the verse. And that was it. Just have the stems at the end. I just have fresh air to boost the high mids and the highs, a little bit of compression, and then Maximus to boost the gain, make it louder. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the sample. That's how I approach making a little baby or 4PF kind of sample. This MIDI kit made it really easy with their piano midis, but they also have guitar midis and bell midis, so I highly recommend checking this kit out. I'll leave a link down in the description for the kit. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.